Storm Spirit by Starlights 1112. Chapter 1. First Encounter. Leia walked along the beach, her blonde hair billowing gently in back of her. Her half-bun wavered gently under the sea breeze. It was evening, and it looked like the night would bring light rain. Her eyes scanned the horizon of the ocean to her lighthouse, where she lived alone with her pet bird. Well, Phoenix. The golden bird, the size of a robin, could change its size to be ridden on, but that was as far as its powers went. As Leia walked along, she thought of her sister's last argument with her. Jasmine was horribly jealous of Leia, since Leia was considered a storm spirit, and she was but a shadow spirit. Storm and shadow spirits were benders that had different powers based on the Avatar cycle. Leia had powers of lightning, because she was in the wind cycle. Jasmine, however, could simply shoot bits of shadows that burned, as she was under her fire phase. Most of Leia's 15 years had been spent in the Fire Nation looking after Jas, and cleaning up shadow-inspired messes. Leia's eyes returned to Light Isle, a small, neutral island. It was between air and fire waters, and had no part in the war. Leia had grown up in the Fire Nation, but had been exiled. She did not want to fight them, but if the time came, as Storm Spirit, she would have to help the Avatar. She hoped that time wouldn't come. She sighed and looked down at her empty basket. She had to pick some herbs to help make her countless remedies. A huge part of being Storm, also known as Light Spirit, was healing. Leia was good at playing doctor, but preferred to play warrior. Her black shoes padded softly along the sand, but the ribbon that tied neatly around her ankle and up her calf stayed firmly in place. It had been a long while since her left ankle had been severely burned. She was finally able to move gracefully, people unable to see her bad ankle. It had been her friend Suki who had helped her. She had been exiled at the age of 13 and traveled to Kyoshi to train there. After 1 year in Kyoshi, she had traveled around the world. She kept in contact with her friends by messages with Sakura, her phoenix. Suki was still her best friend. Once in the market, she collected everything she needed and started to leave until a villager cried out, "A giant buffalo was flying directly at the island!" Leia was afraid that chaos would break out, but none of the other villagers cared. Leia sighed to see 2 boys and a girl on what looked like a giant flying bison? Leia blinked twice. As a child, she had studied bending and physics, among other subjects, for hours and hours. She still continued this studious habit. She knew that the girl was a waterbender, and the child was an airbender? He must be the Avatar. She rushed over to meet the new arrivals. Little did she know that far out at sea lied a ship smothered in shadows that the lighthouse could not pierce.